Hey, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining me here for episode 19 already. 19, and thank you guys so much for all of your support. I cannot wait to continue doing these every day. So today we're going to do episode 19 is going to be about short-term and long-term mindset and how you actually have to have both. So while we're waiting for the online live presence to build here, I'll just say that today is November 9th, and I have to just make one quick comment about the election. Obviously, today is the day after the election, and I'm wearing purple. And the reason I'm wearing purple is because no matter how we voted, I think we all need to bind together, blue and red, to make this country great. So that's my only political plug there, is that purple. Let's go purple. Let's take both red and blue and get to doing what we need to make this country great. And that takes personal liability as well as, you know, a community and social. So be the change you wish to see. So today, let's get into the topics. We're going to talk about long-term mindset. And, you know, I think society is very warped. I'm going to say that everything we do is, I like to call it the microwave society, right? You know, if I text my husband and he doesn't text me back within like 1 minute, I'm putting out an APB for him, right? You know, I think in this world where things are so instantaneous, right? You can, you know, instead of when I was younger, when I wanted to know something about a topic, I had to like go to a library and then go and look in those little card boxes and then pull out a card and go to the shelf and pick out a book, open up the book, you know, which was called an encyclopedia for those of you who don't know what those are. And I had to search subjects. Now I can go in Google, and 5 seconds later I can have, you know, an answer. So we live in a society where things are fast-paced more than ever. And I think we forget that all good things are going to spend time, right? Yeah, let's just talk about, you know, I don't know, obesity. You know, some people, it took them 10, 20, 30, 40 years to put on all this weight. But if it's not gone in a week, you know, the program doesn't work. I mean, I don't know. Shoot, my connection is weak. I might have to start this over, you guys. I'm going to start this over. So, I think I need to start this over. Well, now we're back. I just worry that the connection is going to be weak the entire time. Okay. So, you know, business, like let's think about real professionals. You know, somebody decides to be a doctor when they're in their 20s, right? And they go to school, and then they go to med school. So you're talking about 8 to 12 years of formal education to become a doctor, where you're going to make, you know, a couple $100,000 a year up to maybe surgeons $1 million a year. And so it's funny because in network marketing, you can pay $100 up to probably a couple $1,000s to join a business. And people have this, I guess, false hope that if you're not a millionaire after a month, that it's not working. You know, now, can you have success sooner? Absolutely. The great thing about this is that network marketing can be a pressure cooker, but it can also be a microwave. You know, when I first got started 9.5 years ago, I immersed myself. But when I say immerse myself, I stopped watching TV for like 6 years, you guys. I mean, I really literally probably watched less than an hour of TV. I had whole seasons. I had 4 seasons of a show that I was watching back in 2007 that I never, ever, ever ended up watching. So when I say like long-term mindset, you have to have a long-term vision that this could take you a while, depending on your network, your skill set, your confidence, your posture, your belief. You know, although I didn't grow up with any great belief, I grew up very middle class. Sometimes we were actually on welfare, and because there was 5 kids, and it was sometimes more economically feasible for my parents to be on welfare than have a minimum wage job. So neither of my parents had any formal education. My dad, as you noticed from yesterday's episode, was actually born and raised in China till he was 12 years old. my grandfather and my grandmother were very poor. You know, both sides of my family were extraordinarily poor. Then I came from generations and generations of poor. And so, you know, long-term mindset is you see something that's possible, but you have to give it time. Now, I was willing to work hard and sacrifice, which most people aren't. But I made a decision. I became the person who was going to make, you know, a success out of myself. And I went and I was highly successful, but that was a decision. I was at 15 months into the business, I was making $35,000 a month. My first full year in network marketing, I made $314,000. It's a very significant number, so I will remember that. But here's the bottom line is, I did that because I did more than I think the average person was doing, right? I saw the vision and I didn't want to, I didn't want the slow route. I didn't want it 5 to 7 years. I wanted to do it fast. So I upped my mindset, I upped my output, I upped my meetings, I upped my goals, I upped my activity, right? So, you know, can you make a lot of money quickly? Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. But also have the mindset that you're learning a skill, that you may have to grow your skill set, your mindset, your leadership. Now, here's the most important thing is I grew that team fast, but the law of the lid, meaning you can never go beyond what's your level of personal development. The law of the lid says that I was really worth this much and I was here. So guess what? It fell apart because I didn't have the leadership skills necessary to sustain the growth. And that will happen often in times in network marketing. Another thing that's crazy that happens is that, you know, let's say somebody's making $40,000 a year in their career, right? So whatever it is, whether it's teaching or plumbing or, you know, secretarial or whatever, you're making $40,000 a year. And all of a sudden, which is about $3,000 a month, a little over $3,000 a month. All of a sudden you work hard and you get to $5,000 a month and something happens in your subconscious. And all of a sudden you start self-sabotaging because your brain's sitting there saying, you're not worth $60,000 a year. You're worth $40,000 a year. So a lot of people don't realize they'll start sabotaging themselves unbeknownst to themselves, and they will drop back. They'll drop back the activity. They'll drop back their mindset to where their brain believes that they could go. Now, this is a really important in terms of long-term thinking, because you can get there fast with activity, but whether you will sustain it enough depends on the growth that you're doing inside. So what happened is I went there and then I went down and then I went, you know, and then I got back to around 100,000 a year because that's what I was making prior to the industry, right? And then I got there again and it, you know, went crazy and then it went back down to right around the baseline. Now my baseline now is 3 times what it was 9 years ago. But then again, my mindset is far, far greater, and my leadership and my skills after 9 years have grown and developed. So this is a profession. You can make money fast, but do not rely on your sheer activities. You have to grow yourself. I don't care what anyone says. You have to grow yourself if you want to maintain where you got to. John Maxwell said, it's harder to stay on top than it is to get to the top. And boy, that is an absolute fact. So the MLM is a profession. Long-term mindset says that there is no big leg, small leg. I think it's the most ridiculous thing, like, oh, I'm on your big leg, you won't help me. I help everybody. In fact, I want to tell you a story about long-term mindset. So in my first company, 9 years ago, I had 2 legs, and it was a binary compensation, which means I only got paid off of my big leg. So a lot of people only worked on their small leg, right? But I had the mindset that, well, if I keep helping this big leg and it goes out of control, then I can spend the rest of my life building this small leg. That's a good problem to have, having to build only one leg. So I continue to help people on both legs. I continue to do calls and meetings and in-persons and trainings for both legs. This is long-term thinking. There's no downside of having a horribly huge business, not horribly, a wonderfully huge business, right? So one night, I did share this in a past episode. One night one of my friends called me and she said, hey, I need you to go meet with this lady. She's in your area. It's a cousin of somebody on that leg. Da, 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 da. I went. Bottom line, one person showed up. One person came in from that leg, and that woman made $1 million in earnings in our third company. One person came from that meeting, one. And she did okay in the first company that we're in. She was my sponsor in our second company, and our third company, she was one of my 6 millionaires because I said yes 5 years before, 4 years before, to a meeting for somebody on my big leg. That's called long-term vision, right? But MLM is a profession. You know, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not a lottery ticket. If you're looking for that, we're not your guy. And the good news is it allows anyone in. The bad news is it allows anyone in, right? And so for long-term vision, you're going to have to come with to grips that you're going to have to continue to face all of your fears, 3 of the worst fears of human beings, which are rejection, failure, and ridicule, all time, every time. I still face it in 9.5 years, and I still face rejection. I still face ridicule, and I still face failure, right? I do fail. Like, I'm not perfect, and it's okay because I know that failure is necessary. But people who take the time to master the skills, master the art, get better, grow themselves, that's what people go on to make a multi-6-figure or the 7-figure income, right? You have to understand what is inevitable. You're going to have to grow. You're going to have to continue to grow. You're going to have to continue to raise your lid, and you're going to have to continue to grow your skills. And you're going to have to continue to grow your network. You're going to have to continue to grow your posture. And these things will take consistent, intentional growth, right? You have to have posture. Posture comes from belief. And the longer you're in it, like, for example, in 9.5 years, like, it really used to bother me when people would say, oh, is this one of those pyramid schemes? It doesn't bother me at all. Like, 500 people could say that to me today, and it literally doesn't bother me one tiny bit. Why? Because I know what they don't know. And so the things that bother you, the things that scare you in the beginning will not bother you after a while. And so get used to it. The long-term vision says, someday I will be good. Someday I will be confident. Someday I will be successful. And I'm going to persist until I am, right? Quitting and failing are not an option. Now, have I changed vehicles? Absolutely. But, you know, of the 4 companies, I'm in my 4th. 2 of them aren't in business anymore. And one of them really like declined rapidly. So I don't know what their fate is, but I'm very happy with all the decisions that I've made. Okay, so now we're going to talk about short term, because you have to have a long-term vision in order to continue doing the things that you have to do every single day in the short term that will get you there long term. So it's what you do every single day. Now let's talk about 5 A's. I want you guys to write these down. Yeah, Anna, do not listen to Uncle Joe. Because Uncle Joe, who says these things don't work, showed up to one meeting, he signed up, he didn't talk to anybody, he didn't make a call, he quit, he got stuck with all the product because he was in Amway in 1976 where you had to buy a pallet. And he said these things don't work. Stop listening to Uncle Joe. And stop listening to people who don't have what you want. You know, if I wanted to be a doctor, I'm going to go to med school and I'm going to find counsel and mentors that are doctors, right? If I want to be a lawyer, I'm going to go to law school and I'm going to find mentors that are successful in the field of law. When I'm going to be in network marketing, I'm not going to listen to non-network marketers who have had success in network marketing, and I'm going to follow them. So that's why I read books. I have read dozens and dozens of books of people who have been successful in the network marketing industry. So short-term A's, I want you guys to write these down. Somebody let me know if the connection's good. It says my connection's weak. I don't know what I'm doing or what. Maybe it's just part of the house I'm in. But anyway, all right. Short term, 5 A's. Number 1, you guys. Okay, I think I'm back. Sorry if you heard me debating which Wi-Fi I was on with my husband. Okay, so 5 A's. Don't worry if it pauses. I will come back. I promise. I will come back. All right. Every day in the short term, what you can focus on, number 1, is attitude. How you perceive everything, from whether your upline is engaged or not, whether your upline is helpful or not, whether your friends are, positive or not, whether you get no's or not, how you respond to everything will determine your long-term success, your attitude. Choosing to have positive thoughts instead of negative, right? I still get no's. I still have people cancel on me. I still have people criticize me. I still have people ridicule me, but my attitude is different about it. And if my attitude wasn't different about it, I wouldn't still be here after 9.5 years. So you can control your attitude in the short term every day. Okay, so you had a failure. What can you learn from it? What did you grow from it? What feedback can you have? What can you adjust? What can you do different, right? Do you focus on what you can't do or what can I do, right? Who can I talk to? What is possible? Can I do this? I know I can do this. I'm going to be intentional about, being positive. I'm going to be intentional about, being a team player. Every single day, your attitude in the short term will be paramount for your long-term success. And that is something you can control every day. And your mind can only hold one thought, either a positive or negative. And unfortunately, we default to negative, but you have to be intentional about continually replacing it out. So when you have a negative thought like, I don't know if I can do this, or, I don't know, these things don't work or whatever, replace it immediately with a positive thought. All right, number 2, what you can focus on every single day is abundance. Have an attitude of abundance. Abundance is everywhere. Every conversation that you go into, you have to say that I'm either going to get a customer, a business partner, or a referral out of everybody, right? Because there is, I live in the United States. There's 322 million people here. I live in California. There's 39 million people. Instead of saying, oh, people here are, this way, or people here are that way, I have an abundant mindset every day in the short term that I think there's so many people around me that are going to want what have I have. There's so many people that are going to want to be my customer. There's so many people that are going to want to be partners with me in business. There's so many people who will say, you know what? I love what you're doing and I'm happy to refer you to my friend, right? Because you have a great attitude and you have long-term vision, and I would be proud to refer you to my friend. So have an attitude every day of abundance, not scarcity. There's enough to go around. There's so much to go around. There is more possibility and more opportunity right now in history than ever before. And that's a fact. The fact that in Amway in 1967, they didn't have Facebook. They weren't able to, you guys, this is the first generation that we can build a global business from the comfort of our own home. And I've done it twice now. Take advantage of that. That's abundance thinking, that there's Facebook, there's Twitter. You might have to learn the skills, but every day have a mindset that there is plenty. There are so many people in your town. There are so many people in your county, your state, your country that want what you have, either from the product or service size or the distributor size. There are plenty of people. Every day remind yourself that there is a whole world and there are acres of diamonds sitting right underneath you. Don't ever forget that. Acres of Diamonds is a really great audio. I think it's Earl Nightingale. He's one of my favorites. But there are acres of diamonds all around you, and you will only get that if you have a positive mindset of abundance. Number 3, that you can do every day is accountability. Or actually, let's go to activity. Activity. We all know what it takes to get where we want to go, right? The simple steps, there should be like 5 things you do every day, right? You should prospect, you should present, you should follow up, you should build your skills. And what's the 5th one? I don't know. I'll think of it in a minute. But every day, you should be prospecting. Oh, building your network, prospecting, presenting, following up, and building your skills, meaning personal development. Those are what my 5 essentials are that I do every single day. I build my network via social media and around the community. I prospect every day, meaning I'm constantly creating interest. I am presenting every day, giving information, inviting people to webinars, inviting people to watch my video, going into their living rooms, on a Zoom, on a 3-way call, constantly. I'm following up. So you saw the information, now what? And then number 5 is I'm constantly growing me. And, you know, I'm always reading a different book. I'm always watching a different video or reading something online. And there is a vast amount of free stuff out there. So money will never hold you back from personal development, hopefully. Go to the library if you have to. So every single day is accountability. Are you doing the things that you need to do to grow your business every single day? Every day. Every day. I mean, if you want to take Sunday off to be with your family, that's fine. But accountability is doing the things you need to do. If you need that accountability, if you're not inner motivated, like I'm inner motivated, I have my eye on the prize and I want it so bad for me and my family and for my team and for my mission and for my definitive purpose that I am inner motivated. I don't need a song of a day or quote of a day. I don't need somebody to reach out. I don't need my upline to go, hey, how you doing? You still hanging in there? I don't need that because I'm inner motivated. But if you're not, it's okay. I've just had a few more years of programming changes that I'm inner motivated. But if you're not, ask your upline or grab somebody that doesn't have any interest in your financial gain, because sometimes you think that somebody who has, like your upline, who has vested interest in you making money, your subconscious may say, well, they're only doing this because they want to make money off of me. So find someone cross-line. Find someone in your area that's in another part of the company, in your company that's not on your team, and have accountability. Or maybe your spouse, or maybe your best friend, or whatever. But get accountability and do the things you need to do every day, you know, and that goes for everything. If you know you want to lose weight or get healthy, you know, accountability, you know, eat the right foods, drink a lot of water, get your body moving, you know, create a healthy environment around you. There are a lot of things. So every day have accountability for doing the things that you need to do, even when you don't feel like doing it. And then the fifth A is accomplishment. Celebrate your victories every day. So, you know, let people know, you know, we have a really cool team environment where we share our victories every day. We shout each other out, you know, we have contests, we talk about, hey, I just got another customer, I just got another distributor, we welcome them, we make a big deal, you know, when someone goes up in a higher rank. Accomplishments are huge. Celebrate those victories every day. And even when you don't have a win, meaning you didn't put a new number on the board, you didn't put a new distributor on the board or customer on the board, what if you got 5 referrals that day that you're going to call? What if you made 5 follow-up calls? What if you invited 5 people? Like, celebrate doing the activities, right? Because if you want to lose 100 pounds and you go run a mile, you're probably not going to lose any weight, but you should celebrate that you did the activity that's going to get you to your goal. So accomplishment is huge, guys. And, you know, maybe even have like a daily reward, a weekly reward, a monthly reward. Even if you don't see immediate results, be excited that you planted the seeds, right? The harvest will give you long-term results. The harvest will give you long-term gratitude and gain, and that it's feedback that it's working. But you have to keep yourself motivated in the short term, and you know, you have to be proud of what you're doing, the little things that are going to keep you going for the long term. So accomplishments, celebrate them. You know, feel proud of yourself. Share that with your accountability. Share that with your upline. Share that with your team. That, hey, I made 5 phone calls today, or I presented to 2 people today, or I got, you know, 15 people off Facebook and I followed up all of them, or I scheduled 6 calls or 2 in-person meetings, right? The activity, be accountable. So again, those are attitude, abundance, activity, accountability, and accomplishment. Those are short-term things that you can do every day in order to increase your chances of long-term success. You've got to have both. Have a sense of urgency. You know, people say that network marketing is a sprint, it's a marathon. It's not. It's a marathon of sprints. It's doing, you know, like right now, I'm so excited about our opportunity, and I'm so excited about some changes that our company's made, that I am on a sprint right now. And I have already enrolled 6 new people, and it's only the 9th of the month. And I've been in the company, this is my 13th month. So it's not like my market was wide open. Everyone's been pretty much notified of what I'm doing. But yet I've sponsored 4 new distributors and 2 new customers already in the 9th of the month. Why? Because I'm taking activity every single day, because I know that the work I do today, the people I call today, the people I launch today can make my 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years different. That there is not a one-to-one effect in network marketing. The most important thing I can tell you on this call or this video to tie it all together is that everything you do today in the short term, everything you do doesn't have a one-to-one impact. Like you put in one person now, in 5 years you have one. It has a multiple exponential impact. This is an exponential thing. When I started my last company 5 years ago, I enrolled 5 people my first month and probably 5 to 10 people my second month. And yes, I did have some spillover, so I'm not going to claim that I grew my whole team. I had definitely some spillover, but my last team grew to hundreds of thousands of people. And I know that my personal downline, just the people I enrolled, turned into over 100,000 people at minimum. So this is an exponential game. Everything you do in the short term could be exponentially different. You could make one call today that could get one referral, that could get one person who has one party, who 5 people show up, only one becomes a customer and one becomes a distributor, and the next month that distributor has a party with 15 people and 2 people become distributors, and then the next month one person, and 5 months down the road, 2 years down the road, one person can be like me and put in thousands of people. And that's because you did the activity and had the right attitude and had consistency, and you did what you needed to do in the short term in order to see the long-term results. This is not 90 days, and it doesn't work or you quit. This is consistent effort that I have made every single day for 9.5 years. 9.5 years. You want to know how I am, where I am, how I've accomplished what I've accomplished? Because I don't take time off of my business. Why? Because it's my business. Now, do I go on vacation? Absolutely. But you could ask my teams that have been with me for years and years and years now, how often I am not available. It's very, very, very infrequently. Why? Because I'm not where I want to be yet. And it's not financially. Financially is fine. I'm not in this for the impact. I want to make income. I want to make the impact. So there is no finish line, you guys. There is no, I've changed this many lives, I'm all set. Like, if you have a calling, you're going to change lives for the rest of your life, right? And the activities, both short-term and long-term, will help you with those. So get your head in the right place every day, whether you need to read some books. A really great book, and I know it's backwards, so I'll read it. This is a really good book. It's called Eat the Frog by Brian Tracy. 21 great ways to stop procrastinating and get more done in less time. Another one is The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Similar to that, The Slight Edge is doing the little things every day are the insignificant, the mundane, the small little chunks. How you eat an elephant one bite at a time. I think that's gross. I'd rather say how do you climb to the top of a mountain, one step at a time. That one step is never insurmountable, right? But you don't just leap. But you're standing in front of the mountain. And it looks very intimidating, right? It looks like hard work. Now, along that path to the mountain, there are going to be mudslides and rain. There's going to be, you might get sick, you might get sore, you might get tired. There might be a thing where you fall back. It's not always going to be a straight, easy climb to the top, but I promise you it's worth it. I promise you. So do what you have to do every day. Take those little steps every day, because the long-term vision is getting to the top, wherever that is for you. And for everybody, that is different. Some people it's monetary, some people it's impact, some people it's both. Some people it's just, a mission, right? And so wherever that finish line is to you, there is no finish line, but wherever that pivotal thing where you say, that's where I wanted to go, it's going to take consistent effort over time. So control your attitude and control your activity, control your accountability, control your mindset in the short term, and that will lead to success overall. So hopefully you guys got some valuable nuggets today. And again, go America. Red plus blue equals purple. Let's do our part as entrepreneurs to make a positive impact on this world and be the change that we wish to see. So thank you guys for joining me on this day after the election, and I thank all of you. Again, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/ /create wealth with Tara so you can be notified. And please feel free to share this general free MLM training with everyone on your team, because we have found a great profession that has changed millions and millions of lives. And I want to make sure that we all can make the impact that we get to. Oh, Christy, you got 4 A's. The A's are attitude, activity, accountability, abundance, and accomplishment. All right. Well, thank you guys. This will be live on Facebook soon, and have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow.